Hey, good morning. October 2nd of the October Reset Challenge with the challenge.org. I'm day 2 of being completely sober, and honestly, today is Thursday. The last time I drank alcohol was Sunday, and I did tell you that I would give you a story of my own personal experience with alcohol every day this month. And not all of the stories are going to be great. Not all of the stories are going to be climatic. Some of them are just going to be a story, but they're all true. They're all from my own personal experience. And today, I was thinking, I don't even know why I'm doing this challenge because I don't have a dependency or a reliance on alcohol. I do have a history, though, and I do have relatives that we're alcoholics, I guess, for I can't think of a nicer way to say it. It does run in my family. And like I said, I did drink on Sunday. It was not eventful. I went to a local bar and I had a pumpkin pie martini and it was delicious. And there was hardly any place to sit. So I chose the seat sitting next to a woman who was there with what appeared to be her husband and they were eating dinner. And somebody came in and sat right down next to me, and I had no elbow room to eat. I probably should have left the bar, but anyway, that's not the story. That's um, like I said, I don't personally have a dependency or a reliance or addiction that is all consuming that hurts me so much now. But when I was younger, I remember I was at a 4th of July reunion. And like I said, there's a history of alcoholism in my family. And I'm sorry, I'm reliving this moment in my head. And every time I do, it gets a little bit scarier and a little bit more violent. And I honestly hadn't thought about it a lot until this morning. My, gosh, I was probably 8 or 9 years old, maybe. And I have a little cousin who has, Down syndrome, I think, and, she's a year or 2 younger than me. So we're both school-age kids, and, it's 4th of July reunion. It's a fun celebration kinda thing. Ended up being not so much fun or celebration. Um, my uncle, um, he had faced different charges or bad accounts while under the influence. Um, he would drink and get mean to his kids. Basically, for the most part, non abusive, non violent, as far as anybody could tell, at least that I knew of, but I was young. Well, anyway, this one particular reunion, my uncle had been drinking, and my little cousin, his daughter, had been lecturing him about drinking and how she doesn't like when he drinks. And he had gotten to the point where he had heard enough of her badgering him. He'd heard enough of her complaints, her voice. And the last time she decided to speak to him about it, he reached down and in an instant he had her up by her ankle. I remember sitting on the porch watching her flail, and I don't even know if she was making any noise or if there was anybody saying anything. And he held her up above his head, upside down with one hand, and continued to swat her butt with his other hand. I don't know if it was just once or if it was 3 times. My memory's not very clear. It was obviously a traumatic experience, not just for her, but for everybody that witnessed it. And I know nobody did anything right then and there. I'm sure relatives said something to him after the fact, but the trauma, the humiliation, the pain caused, like, my uncle is generally a pretty relaxed, pretty tolerable kind of guy, and I know he would not have behaved like this had he not been drinking. And so, like I said, you're gonna get a 31 stories, alcohol related stories from me this month, and that was one of them. And let me know what experiences you've had with alcohol. A part of this challenge is I'm just supposed to be talking about how I'm feeling and how the not drinking is affecting me, my sleep, my overall health. But I seem to be coming down with a cold. Um, it's only day 2 into the challenge, and I will keep you updated. And thanks for watching.